On August 24, 1992, Hurricane Andrew made landfall on South Florida. The Hurricane Research Division of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, used radar recording devices to create animated images of the storm. This sequence shows Hurricane Andrew over the Bahamas as it approaches Florida, seen on the left-hand side of the screen. The numbers on the lower right-hand side of the screen indicate Greenwich Mean Time, which is 4 hours ahead of Eastern Daylight Time. Watch closely as the storm approaches Florida. Notice how the eye wall, the central red ring of the storm, intensifies and becomes tighter as Hurricane Andrew draws closer to the mainland. If you look closely at the water around Miami, you can see little white specks traveling out of the port and down the screen. These are boats fleeing the Miami area in the hours before the storm hit. This is an extreme close-up of the eye of Hurricane Andrew. The image here is storm-centered, meaning that the eye is always kept in the center of the screen. This creates the illusion that the Florida Peninsula is moving towards the storm. NOAA studied these images of Hurricane Andrew and noticed a slow-moving vessel on the screen, here marked with a cross, which traveled directly through the eye of the hurricane. They later discovered that the vessel was actually a freighter caught in the storm. Unable to outrun Andrew, the vessel sustained extensive damage, and an unknown number of crew members were injured as the boat hurled through the 60-foot waves. This radar sequence is shown in black and white, giving an overall view of the storm and a clear view of the hurricane's eye. As the hurricane approaches the mainland, notice the vertical white stripe seen through the center of the eye. The stripe is actually large waves hitting the coral reefs just offshore of the barrier islands. This is the same sequence of Andrew, now shown in color. Notice the large black spot on mainland Florida on the upper left part of the screen. This is the receiving radar dish of the National Hurricane Center, which was blown off the roof when the winds reached an excess of 155 miles an hour. When the dish was torn from the building, the picture stopped abruptly, and the hurricane could no longer be tracked from the Coral Gables site. This sequence was recorded from the Tampa facility, which was far enough away from the storm to escape damage. Although the image is not as sharp as sequences recorded by the closer radar site, Tampa enables us to track Andrew as it cut a path across the state and south of Naples before entering the Gulf of Mexico. In this sequence, we see Hurricane Andrew approaching the coast of Louisiana on August 26th. While the winds are still in excess of 120 miles per hour, the storm is much weaker than when it struck Florida the day before. Notice how the central eye has lost intensity and continues to lose intensity as it crosses the coast. In the upper portion of the image, notice the large spiral rain bands, some of which generated deadly tornadoes in the New Orleans area. In this final sequence, the storm moves over Louisiana, losing hurricane status and gradually dissipating until it joins a low-pressure system to the east. Hurricane Andrew, which caused one of the worst natural disasters in United States history, finally ended its destructive path across Florida and Louisiana on August 26, 1992.